Welcome to the Rising Consciousness Show, 20 minutes of soulful insights and powerful tools to elevate your life experience and create with higher clarity, intention, and vision. I'm Tara Antler, intuitive healer and soul coach.
And I'm King Gabriel, spiritual teacher and practitioner. And we are the co-founders of Ascension Academy of Life,
a global center for spiritual growth, intuitive healing, and soul alignment.
Get ready to blast off.
All right, super excited to get going.
Howdy.
Oh my gosh, wait a second. The sky is falling.
Oh,
the sky is
no.
falling.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait, that's not the sky. That's my consciousness that's falling. Oh,
Chicken little.
snap. No, we're so excited to be here with you
Hi,
today.
guys.
The topic for today actually is talking about consciousness falling or dropping, right? What happens when consciousness, we want consciousness to rise, but it feels like everything's falling apart, right? How can consciousness be rising when everything is falling apart, right? Like, how is that possible? We get this question all the time from clients, right? They're like, yeah, Tara, I really want to feel good. I really want to feel abundant. I really want to feel happy, but I just had this crazy situation happen in my life. Someone died. I lost my job. I just got hit with a, $10,000 bill. I don't know where the money's going to come from. My kids are crazy pants. I don't even know how to help them or fix them or control them. These are some of the things that come to us all the time. And we get it. Life happens, right? So what do you do when you feel like everything's been stripping away or everything's falling apart, whether it be an old relationship, an old job, an old bit of money or something, anything. Like, think about those times in your life where you're tickety-boo, you're living along your life, and then something happens. Right? Something gets pulled out, stripped away. You want to feel happy, and yet you feel the immediate, you feel that drop in consciousness, right? It feels like the sky is falling, and yet it's an actual drop in consciousness.
I think the first part of that actually is recognizing that change is natural here. Okay? In this world, you have trees that grow, and then they get old and they break and they, fall over and all of that stuff. You have buildings, even if you leave a building, it might last 100, 200 or whatever years, but eventually it's going to erode. Everything here, from birds to bees to plants to trees to buildings, etc., it's all going to change. Everything here is subject to change. So it's not really a surprise per se when things change, but it's because we expect things to be exactly the same in a world that's not the same. That doesn't stay the same. That's what really causes us that discomfort, right? So we got to first recognize that things are going to change.
It's the
what do you call
impermanence. Impermanence, the impermanence of life, right? And I love this conversation because I believe it's because some of the resistance to change is because we don't want it to change because maybe we like certain things.
I like
it
the way it is.
Right? I like life being this way. I don't want things to change.
Exactly.
I think about Aria, our daughter. She says all the time, Mommy, I don't want to get older. I want to stay exactly like this. And I get it, right? Because she wants to be held. She wants to be cuddled. She sees the changes from her brothers to her. And she can see that contrast. She can see the difference. And she has a preference. She says, I want to stay right like this because she doesn't know what's yet to come.
Exactly.
And I keep saying to her, Hun, you have so many amazing experiences
you get
to
reach
come.
up into the deep freeze finally and pull down those things you want for yourself.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
And then she gets excited,
Then she's like,
Yay! Because, and I think that's true of us as adults. We don't know what's yet to come.
Exactly.
We don't know what's around the corner. Maybe some of you that might be psychic or psychically tuned in, you might get a little, what's that word? Like, head start. You might get a little, glimpse into the future to tell you, oh yeah, this is what's coming.
Definitely.
And I say that we really don't 100% know for sure, 100% certainty what is to come. And so we go, oh, but I really like this right here. Because we don't know what's to come. And so that we hold on to what's right here because we don't want it to change. Now that's one scenario. Second scenario is people want the change because they feel stuck in their current situation. They go, get me the hell out of here. I don't like this. I don't want this, but I don't know how to make it change. And the ego self is still afraid to change because it's become comfortable in the uncomfortable. Right. So that's the second scenario. And then I would say there's probably many scenarios, but I'm thinking about three.
It's that saying about the people use it as this way, but the devil that you know is better than the one that you don't, right? That's what they say, right? So it's like what you have right there that you know that you're accustomed to, you know what you're gonna get, you know that's gonna happen, but the unknown is scary because it's like you don't know, it could be much worse, right? And that's the type of thinking that fosters that resistance to change.
That's the third scenario is that people they get comfortable. They may or may not want change. They may, you know, and they go, ooh, like I really don't think I want it to change, or maybe I do want it to change, but I'm not quite sure. So there's this question mark, there's this uncertainty, or they get again so comfortable in their comforts so that there's resistance. And so either way, whichever those scenarios are, and again, there's probably more scenarios, but just to keep it simple for this conversation, most people don't like change. Most people are afraid of change. Most people resist change because they don't know what's on the other side. And that could be scary. That could be very unknowing and uncertain to the ego self, to certain levels of consciousness, to your higher consciousness. Your higher consciousness is like, whoa, I'm so excited for change. Like, bring it on. That's me most of the time. I'm like, whoa. Yeah. Although I do have to say, since having kids, I really love and I'm very present to every stage of their development. And there's a part of me in each stage I go, oh, I just love this phase so much. And then when the next phase comes, I go, oh my God, I love this phase so much, right?
Each one
is beautiful.
Yeah,
and so I think having experiences like that, it grows you to, I would say, adapt with change and make peace and friends with change, right?
Yeah. I'm going to give an example of this an actual example because I feel it was so awesome. Like, the way the kids would say certain things and they would mispronounce certain words or so whatever, cute. That's so adorable.
So cute.
You know, you love that for one instant, but then they lose that because they tend to, you know, learn from us and develop that part of things. But then you'll see them on the couch, for instance, like today, playing with their own stomachs and doing this kind of yogic breath on their own. And you're like, whoa, when did you learn that? You know, and it's like you get to see all these different wonderful things along the way that are like markers of that time that are unique. And you won't see that if you just stick to the one thing, right? Yeah. Nor will you see that advancement happening and that beautiful being that is expressing itself. So I think it's just like, it's really about being able to enjoy each beautiful moment.
Yeah. And I think you said something really key there too, the advancement. Yeah. See, if we try to hold on to what is right now without allowing that natural progression, transformation, and change to occur, we miss out on what is to come next. We miss out on that advancement, right? Yeah. If we were to tell the kids, no, you can only crawl. Like you can't walk. Don't walk.
Don't let me see you walking.
Just crawl, right? Because it's so cute. I love it so much. You're just gonna crawl. What kind of a being would I be to do that to them, right? Like I'm stopping an entire life experience for them to have that they get to have by taking their next step, by taking their evolution and by taking their growth. And only that can happen and come when you are willing to grow with the growth, grow with the change that's upon you.
Change is an opportunity for growth, and you could take it as such or you could take it as great loss, but it's always way more fun to take it as an opportunity for growth.
And I always say change is uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be. It can be. Let's say that. I'll reframe it. Change can be uncomfortable. It is inevitable and it's incredible. And I've come to know that personally. Being an Aquarian, I really thrive in change. I love change. If things get too normal, too constant, too consistent for me, I start getting a little batty. I'm like, oh my God, I need a change in scenery. Like somebody get me in the car and take me for a drive. You know what I mean? So, and having kids allows me to have daily change. Having a business allows daily change. Having a spiritual partnership allows daily change. Having a path, walking a path that is ever evolving my consciousness, I'm ever rising my own consciousness. I'm open to change every moment of the day, right? And so I actually really enjoy change. And so for me, there have been moments where that uncomfortability, like when you really, like I said with the kids, or there's times in my life where I'm like, oh, I love this so much. I don't want this to change. I really love this so much. And then you go, well, like summertime. I love summertime. I thrive in the summer, right? And then being in Northern Ontario in Canada, the seasons, we have all 4 seasons. And right when the leaves were so beautiful this past fall and they're exquisite and they're like bursting.
Amazing.
Oh, it was like just what an enriching, enlivening experience, right? And then all of a sudden what's coming in about a week after that. You're like, oh no, the leaves are going to leave the tree and then it's going to look bare and dull and blah,
And that's
right?
the funny part of it. We jump to the future sometimes in expectation of the leaves falling, when right then in front of our eyes, right then, right there,
Yeah. There's all this
all
color.
those beautiful leaves are in front of us. So then we can miss that too, right? We can actually miss that beautiful moment by looking forward to thinking, oh, but they're going to drop soon.
Yeah.
When really, right then, right there in front of us is this picturesque beauty that's just bursting into our eyes, and we're like, whoa, so that's what we lose when we fear that change as well.
Yeah.
We lose the opportunity to see right then the beauty that's right in front of us.
And the growth, the transition, the transformation that is happening within us, around us. And the coolest thing is, if you're willing to let go a little bit and be open to things just falling away without expectation, without the fear, you might be pleasantly surprised by what is around the corner. Like this past fall, I've been like it's November when we're recording this. I've been pleasantly surprised by this November. It's been beautiful.
Like just yesterday, for instance, you pointed out the sunlight shining on all those trees over there in the way that it was one precious moment, I would say, like one of those moments that you wouldn't want to miss, I suppose.
We wanted to capture,
but we were talking to the kids for a little bit, right? But the light is shining on these trees
Birch
straight across
trees.
in the middle of the river. And if you see the quality of light, the light that was reflecting from those trees, the trees almost look silver
white,
right?
they were
silver
glowing,
white, straight down the path, and you wouldn't see that in the fall time.
But and you wouldn't see that in the summer either, because the forest is full of green leaves. And so in the summer, we've watched the cycles go through watching the Ottawa River, and I didn't see that all summer. Now that the leaves have dropped and you see the sunlight hit that spot, we were whoa.
And that's something that you just won't get to see another time. So this is the beauty of change. When we can accept that change is happening and just embrace it, like Tara did in this case, you get to see all these things that you would have never even seen that are beautiful as well, and
be pleasantly surprised. And again, come back to those grueling, icky, sticky life situations, right? We don't know. You don't know what's on the other side of that. So let's say in the example, we've had this happen with clients where their relationships are falling apart, and it might seem like the most horrific, horrible thing ever in that moment. And I know, I mean, you probably know, I know you know, we've gone through breakups.
It's a rough goal.
Breakups
it's definitely
suck.
a rough
like,
goal. Nobody
terrible.
likes breakups.
Oh, they're awful.
Yes, they're terrible.
They're grueling. I keep thinking to myself, gosh, I am not looking forward to the day where I have to talk to our kids about breakups, because they're so gut-wrenching and heart. It's like
the attachment
so
is crucial. It's
so
crazy.
painful. And yet, when you actually live through that and you get through to the other side, and you go, wow, I'm so grateful that I went through that painstaking stuff, because now on the other side, whether it's you choose a path of freedom and it's just you for a while, and you travel the world, you create a new creation, and or maybe you then intersect a new partner that's next level. All of those other relationships that fell apart in the past for me, they helped me to grow and become the person I wanted to become in order for me to intersect with Gabriel in down California.
And that's the beauty of it, really, right there, because from those experiences, you can learn so much about yourself that was probably hidden to you until that point. You learn more about your being through going through things like that. You learn what you really love as well. Like your love gets focused in different areas where you really learn what you love about life itself. So your relationship with life is more intimate, and then you bring that to the party. You get to bring that to the party. That's amazing. These are the things that really matter to us on in the long haul, and we don't see it that way when we're in the breakup, because it's like all you could see is, oh my gosh, this is the end of the world. My heart, this is, oh my gosh. But there's growth through that.
And then if you think about on the planet right now, so again, as we're recording this is, November 2020, there's a lot of change that's happening on the planet right now. And so a lot of people are freaking out because things are falling apart, systems are falling, jobs are crumbling, ways of being, connecting with one another. There's so many changes that are happening. And so I think we're in a hyper growth right now, because whenever I see hyper change, and what I mean by hyper change, when everything's changing, right? Like every corner turn aspect of your life is going through an overhaul. Massive change like that means massive growth. And massive growth always means massive awesomeness on the other side of that. So if you can, in yourself, while you're going through change, while you're going through growth, if you can know in your heart and in your mind, this would be my tip for you, would be in your heart, what I remind myself of when I'm going through massive change and I'm in the thick of it and I'm like, I have no idea what's going to happen here. I don't know what's on the other side of this. It reminds me of childbirth, right? I birthed all three of our kids naturally. And you don't know. You have no idea what that process is going to be like, especially in this body. I didn't know what birthing a baby was like. Maybe in other lifetimes I did. But in this body, as this being, I had no idea. And you walk into it and you go, oh, I have no idea. Oh God, this sucks. This hurts. This, you go through the whole thing. And what I had to keep doing is remind myself, on the other side of this pain, on the other side of this uncomfortability, on the other side of this gruesome, crazy thing that I'm going through right now is something amazing. And I might not know exactly what that amazing is, but I know something amazing is on the other side of that. And that's how I walked myself through childbirth. That's how I walk myself through most things in life, is that I may not know. And I do think that when you develop psychically, though, when you develop your intuition, and that's something that we do with our community. We do this in our Thrive 365 Spiritual Incubator. We do this in our free group, our Facebook group, I Rise and Thrive. We have every Tuesday is dedicated to intuition and oracle readings and intuition development. And I do find that when you can develop your intuition and expand your intuition, you can get a higher clarity read on what could be to come. Right?
That possible outcome becomes more definite for you, and you see that clearly, and then you can invest a bit more energy and a bit more focus into that. So you start feeling more clear about the situation at hand. It's like what people would call being hopeful, right? I don't use hope often, but in this case, hope, because you have a glimmer, a possibility that's come to you.
A silver lining.
Exactly. A silver lining at the edge of that cloud. And then eventually it becomes so real to you that you almost know that's where you're heading. You're like, that's where I'm headed. So you know what? I'm marching through this strongly. I'm just going through this. It's like the seed that you plant in the ground, right? You plant a seed in the ground. It's in darkness. It's covered for a while. Most people think, okay, that seed is dead and buried. But it has to deal with the elements. It has to deal with that pressure. It has to deal with whatever falls on it and everything. But eventually it's going to sprout. And through that dark stage, through that earth, through that whatever it has to push through, it'll push through all those challenges. It might have a rock in the way or something and move around it. But then it pops up and it comes up and it becomes the magnificent tree that it's going to be, right? So in a sense, yes, that dark and heavy time, that is the challenge, seems like it's the end of the world. And it is the end of the world for the seed, because the seed is no longer needed. Right? The seed has served its purpose, but then the beautiful tree comes of it. And that is us. We become that beautiful tree by moving through our challenges, by moving through the obstacles that we face, so that we can express fully as the new being that we become.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that so much. That's so beautiful. And that's why I use that as an analogy, right? If you're not sure, if you're in a moment right now of uncertainty and change, you may or may not know what's on the other side of that. Let's say if you're somebody who does know, ground into that vision. If you got one silver lining moment, one seed of, this is what's to come. Okay, great. I'm going to ground my focus there, and I know that all is well. I know that what's on the other side of this is awesomeness, heaven on earth, bliss on earth, awesomeness, greatness, beauty, abundance, health, whatever that is for you. If you don't know and you haven't yet developed your intuition to that degree, come into I Rise and Thrive, our free group, because you're going to get lots of goodness there that'll help tweak that and elevate that for you. And I would say for the time being, still ground into, when I get through this, think of childbirth again. When I get through this, on the other side, I know something awesome is going to be waiting. I know the next evolution of my experience is coming. I know it's on the other side of that. So I'm going to lock that in. I'm going to ground into that. I'm going to know that for certain, because if change is inevitable, then you either choose to move through change easily and gracefully, or you go kicking and screaming, and you're like, wow, the sky is falling, the sky is falling.
And either way, it's going to change.
Either way, it's going to change.
So you might as well change and look towards the big awesome instead of looking towards, oh, this is so painful, this is a I do not want, that's a rough
And then
way
it
to
might
go.
not need to be so uncomfortable either.
Yep.
Right? So that's how you get to move through that uncomfortableness. And I would say, I've always found that when things are falling away, whether it's relationships, whether it's worldly things, whether it's work, whether it's whatever it is, whatever is falling away, if we can let it actually fall away, you're letting the old go, you're letting it wash, and you're creating space for something new. You're creating space for something higher. We talk about rising consciousness, allowing the next level of consciousness to come in, which could be incredible. So what would be a tip or tool or some bit that you would give somebody to help navigate through change?
Okay, to navigate through change, I would say that recognizing that change itself is something that allows you to express higher versions of yourself. Just knowing that within means that every time change occurs, you will look to it as an opportunity, yet again, to grow, to express a greater version of yourself. So naturally, your mind heads towards thinking, ooh, what's the next big thing that's coming? What's the big awesome, right? And you're looking towards that big awesome, which makes you feel better in that moment and head towards where you're going or where you want to go.
Ooh. I like it. I'm like, I snaps to that one.
The
Snap,
big
snap,
awesome.
snap. The big awesome. We need a t-shirt
awesome.
like that. The big
big
awesome.
yeah.
That's so good. And let
Yeah.
us know, for those of you that are listening, let us know, what is your big
Go-to.
awesome?
Yeah,
What is
what's
your
your
go-to?
big- Yep,
What
yeah.
if you could really pause for a moment and feel into what would that big awesome, like Gabriel said, what
Yeah.
would that be for you?
Yep.
Let us know. And then also come into iRise and Thrive. I will give you the link in a few moments and
Yeah.
how to get there. But it's an
Yeah.
amazing community. It's beautiful. We love it. It's high vibes. It's spiritual. There's always something happening in the group every single day.
Yeah.
Daily content at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everything's free. Right now we're doing meditation. There's a meditation series that's happening to help everybody move through these crazy life changes and experiences that we're all going through. We're all navigating this, and we're all rising up. We really are. We're all elevating right now. And I know personally that when I have the tools and I have the community and I have the support,
Yes,
I can actually
yes.
sail through change much more easily and gracefully than if I'm trying to lone wolf it.
Definitely.
Right? Yeah. So
So-
thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask you, what was your
Oh yeah, no, my
one
tip. I
Yeah.
think I said it already. Yeah, no, my
Okay,
tips.
all right.
I said it already. I don't even remember. Most of the time when I'm channeling this stuff, I don't
just
even
happens,
remember.
right?
It just came
All
through.
right,
No, I
good.
said it already.
Beautiful.
So thank you so much for joining
Wonderful
us
to
today.
be here with you. Looking forward to seeing you soon again. Ciao.
Have a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Rising Consciousness Show today. To join our Facebook group, all you need to do is go to www.facebook.com/groups/I Rise and Thrive.